In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of my prep work in my new 2025 Cultivate What Matters PowerSheets and talk about all of my goals for 2025. Hi, I'm Kristen and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. It is finally time to talk about all of the 2025 goals. I really love this. So first, I just want to say, I have done some goal setting videos for the past few years, couple of years maybe, where I've talked about my goals. And I think it's a really fun progression because when I first did some goal videos, I was very anti goal setting. It was so overwhelming to me and it was so, I just couldn't see anything working out. And I was so discouraged because I wouldn't ever stick to my goals. The goals didn't mean anything to me. You know, I did that and then I didn't stick to those goals that year when I was doing them on my own. And then I tried PowerSheets in 2024. And let me tell you, genuinely, honestly, authentically, all of those things, it really did make such a huge difference. So I may not have accomplished huge, big, mega, giant goals, but I did make progress in every area of my life. And by progress, that doesn't necessarily mean that I, accomplished a goal. It means that I learned about that thing and how it applies to my life. It's fun to check things off of a list, but goal setting isn't necessarily here's the list of things that I accomplished. Sometimes it just means that we're learning about ourselves, learning what matters, learning what's going to matter when we have finished our lives, and what matters to those around us that we care about. And that's kind of something that I've learned about myself and what resonates with me by using this goal setting system from Cultivate. So I do have my 2024 PowerSheets here, and I had considered doing a flip through of the year, but I think just to save some time, we'll just go through here because I did refer back to my PowerSheets and then transfer the key things that I needed to transfer over here. So we will see a little bit of a review of 2024. If that's something that you really want to see, I know I do the flip through videos every month of my planner. If that's something you really, really want to see, every page in here, let me know. I can try to make that video, but let's just try to move on and go into the actual PowerSheets. I have here all of the stuff that I kind of used and consulted when filling out my prep work. I don't think you need all of this stuff. So remember, I am an affiliate for Cultivate What Matters. I'm an affiliate because I love the company and I love everything that I use. And I really do think it makes a difference for me. But because I'm an affiliate, I buy everything and I try it all so that I can show it to you. And so obviously I'm going to use all of this when I'm setting up my PowerSheet. So this seems like a lot of stuff. You do not need all of this stuff to do your PowerSheets. Just grab the PowerSheets. Right now, I think they're on sale. So the week that this video is published. So grab them while they're cheap. You still have plenty of time. Even if this is, maybe you're watching this in the future and it's February of 2025, you still have so much time. So don't, just grab them and just jump in and get started. Okay, so I have the quick start guide. This is really good for helping you word your goals. It gives you ideas for certain things, for the different areas of life. So it might give you ideas. For me, it was really good I tend to think in very abstract, big dream kind of life goals. And then it's really hard for me to say, okay, but what's the actual thing I'm working on, the tangible thing, the thing that I can break down into steps? What is that? And this is really good for that. I have here these magnetic bookmarks. I like just because it's easy to flip between the sections, so that's kind of nice and handy whenever you're, just trying to quickly get through some things. I'm probably going to take these off now that I'm done setting the goals so that I can use them throughout the year. Then I have the other guide, which is the new Cultivated Life Evaluation Guide. This one is the one that helps you fill out your CLE categories. And there's a couple of pages of prep work here to help you. I didn't do this yet, so I just kind of jumped right into this because I was already deep into prep work, and I had done this workbook, which also felt like prep work to me. So I really liked doing this because there's specific questions that you can answer, and then you total up and average your scores. And it's, as someone like me who is very procedural, I guess, like I want to know that I'm doing it right, whether that's, you know, logical or not. I just want to know if I'm doing it right. And so this kind of helps with that, because you're answering the questions and then you have like a real score that you didn't just kind of make up based on emotions. Okay, and then this is his year workbook. I didn't realize how much this was going to mean to me whenever I started doing it. And I would say if you are a Christian, even if like me, I'm not going to get too much into this. I don't want it to turn into like a religious debate or topic or anything, but I have struggled with my spirituality and religion for a while. I've struggled with my relationship with God, and this really helped me work through that and helped me realize there are things that I want to focus on in the new year and for the rest of my life. And so I like it. You don't have to be super religious. You don't have to be like, I can quote scripture from memory. Like that's not, you don't need that. I would say this is very much, could be for beginners. Anybody can use this. So I really liked this. And like I said, it was great prep work for helping me kind of get in the right mindset for setting up my goal planner. And I'm gonna probably grab it again at the end of 2025 to prep for my 2026 year. So I like it and I recommend it. Then I have my Refresh Brain Dump Journal. This one I'm working with was actually gifted to me a long time ago when it first came out, and I'm still using it, use it constantly. I think I touch this thing every single day. It's, if I were to say other than PowerSheets, anything that you get from Cultivate, it would be this for sure. And you can just see I have lists forever and ever and ever in here. I started this was my scratch paper for all of my prep work, or not my prep work, but for my ideas, my brainstorming for goals, which there are plenty of pages in here. And yes, I could have used any notebook paper, you know, but I liked doing it in here. Like I did it here first and I just wrote out what I thought some goals for each category could be. Then I started kind of going over here and breaking it out into weekly, monthly, that kind of thing. And then I turned the page and went here, and because I started backwards from the section. I'm weird like that. I don't know how to explain it, but and then I kind of made it neater here so that I could use it during the thing. And then this was my word of the year. I was kind of practicing drawing it out. Anyway, so I used that. And then I also just have here, this is the new floral sticker book that just came out. I used this, you'll see on my goal breakdown pages, I used some of these stickers to kind of decorate. So there's already a couple missing. I do have all of my other stickers. I have so many more stickers that I've just recently did a video, I'll link it, but showing you how I use these Planner Kate disc systems, this disc album system, to organize all my Cultivate stickers. And now I have more. I have like maybe 3 more planner or sticker packs that I need to organize. So I am kind of taking it apart, and I think I'm going to break it up into like functional and decorative because yeah, I'm just obsessed and I want to use them. I also have another disc album here, and this is all of my wild cards, and I will show you how I've done those. You can see some here. These ones are wild cards that I've actually punched to put in my disc planner, which will be my everyday planner for 2025. So these are not going to live in my PowerSheets. They're going to live in my like daily planner. And then there's just more here that I can use throughout the year. And I have some in here that you'll see as well. So let's move those out of the way. And then I have the Snap and Paper pack here, which I plan to use for certain things, but I haven't actually set it up yet, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then this notepad that will help me break down those steps. So I think that's everything. So now let's actually open the PowerSheets and look at them. So this is my name page, and I still had stickers here when I was doing the color coding video where I was trying out what colors from Planner Kate match the PowerSheets, like floral colors. Anyway, those are still there. I just left them. They're cute. They match. And then I put these stickers from Cultivate here just because I love hearts and I love rainbows. And you know, I have in my pocket, I have my word of the year card, which is dwell. And then I have my sticker sheet, which I'm almost done with. Every PowerSheets book comes with the sticker sheet. And I saw on something, I don't know if it was an email or a social media post or what, but they had challenged you to use all of your stickers. And I did. Well, I still have 3 left because I'm not done with that section yet, but you'll see. I used all of them, and I've never done that before with the sheet that comes with the planner. So I'm really happy about that. And then this is just the season by season important dates and year at a glance card, which I'm just leaving in here. And these we'll keep these out because I am going to maybe do a couple of the things on here. This needs to go up on my vision board, but I'm going to keep it in here for now so I don't lose it. And I wrote my name here because I just claimed ownership. If you're nervous about writing your name because you think you're going to mess it up, you can grab some stickers from Planner Kate that are repositionable, and they're custom name scripts. And I have here, I think I have them right here. So you can pick your font, and it comes in a sheet of, I guess just depending on the font and how your name or your word that you pick comes out. I had, I think, 6 on here. Anyway, you could just put that there, and then if you put it down crooked or wonky, it's repositionable, so you can just move it, and it's not a big deal, and it takes out that anxiety out of just getting started and just doing the thing, right? So say you write your name and you don't like the way it looks, grab a sticker and cover it up, no big deal. And then move on and get on with your life and accomplish your goals. Okay, so then we have some of this stuff, and I did do a whole walkthrough of this, so if I go too fast over any of these pages and you want to know more, go ahead and watch my review video, and then hopefully that can answer your questions. If not, obviously just ask. So this is the new page. It's the like roadmap page, and that's what these 3 stickers will go here. So as I did each step of the prep work, I got to put my sticker down. It was so much fun. So the ones that I haven't done yet are set yourself up for success with your first routines reset and weekly rhythm, which it depends on how long this video is getting. I may do it in this video. If I don't do it in this video, just go ahead and subscribe, and then it'll come up soon. And then this is the tending list for January, which I don't think I'm going to do in this video. Regardless, I think that one I want to make a separate video. And then my first step on a January goal, I need to write that in and then take the step, and then I can put these stickers in. So hopefully in this video we'll get to this one at least. But I talk a lot. I'm on a time crunch today, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish filming tomorrow and then also edit this before I need to get this up. So I don't know. We're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Okay. This is the brainstorm your year ahead. This is the page I was referring to whenever I said there's plenty of space in here to do like what I did here. Where is it? So to do what I did here, there is space to do that in your PowerSheets. You don't need to buy the Refresh Brain Dump Journal to do it. I just did it, and then I transferred it in here. The reason I did that is because I wasn't ready to work on my PowerSheets yet, but I still had a lot of goal things on my mind, and so that's when I opened the Brain Dump Journal, because I knew I could just like literally brain dump and just like word vomit everything on the page and then kind of sort through it. And so yeah, I did it that way. And we have some things here, and then this is just your checklist for your tending lists and your quarterly refreshes, which I haven't done any of those yet, so those will be waiting for me when I do that. And then you have your come alive again, name what fires you up. I feel like I had a lot more on this page in my 2024 PowerSheets. I said I wasn't going to do this, but here I am. Where is that page? name what fires you up. I did. I did have a lot more. And I wrote smaller and there was still more. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to go look through here and see if there's anything I missed. And maybe this just is the stuff that really, like that was everything I liked, and then maybe this is just like my brain telling me, hey, this is the stuff. Like if we're gonna like whittle down that list even more. Okay. Then we have our Learn from the Past. And this is where I went through all of my tending lists from 2024 and looked at the back. So we have the tending list, and then we have the month in review. And this one has like the good things, the gratitude, what's not working, that kind of stuff. I used this. I went through every single month and looked at all of the months in review on the backs of my tending lists, and I listed everything out here. And then I just, whoops, sorry about that. I forgot to put everything in Do Not Disturb. So I just put everything on here from those, and then I highlighted them with my highlighters so that I just could see the difference in like the types of goals that I was referring to. I don't know if that will come in handy. It was just something I wanted to do. And then here is the Cultivated Life Evaluation. Again, that's what this came in handy for. I went and did all of the pages on here. So the first column is for your prep work. And so I went ahead and did that. And then that's where I circled all of those corresponding numbers. And I kind of just journaled a little bit about what I thought about where I was in that place. I used these Erin Condren glitter gel pens that I'm kind of obsessed with lately. I used these for all of my goal breakdown pages too. And then the highlighters here are all of these pen and gear highlighters that you've seen before. These are just, I cleaned off the labels and put my own vinyl like Cricut I cut out with my Cricut some labels for all of my categories. This one I'm gonna have to change because I changed my freebie category, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let's look back here. So at the end of 2024, I was feeling really great about most of these. And then now with new goals and new perspective on things, I have kind of stepped back, and that's normal. I'm not worried about that. Like I've always been at a 10 with family, but now that I have some more in-depth questions here, things that I hadn't really considered before, or I was just purposely ignoring because I didn't want to think about them. You know, now that has factored into my scores, and I am okay with that, and that's good. And I'm actually like, I like that I have lower scores on things because that gives me room to improve those things, and it kind of takes out some of the guesswork on where should I start or what should I focus on, because, you know, we want to improve some of the lower scores. But also the lowest score was 4, and community, hobbies as self-care, which is my free choice, spiritual and personal growth, those were all 4s, and community was pretty high at the end of 2024. Well, currently when I'm filming this, I feel like I've done a lot better with community than where I was at the beginning of 2024. But there's more things now. Now that I've made progress in that area, I'm ready to step up and kind of improve in other aspects of community where I was previously not doing anything. So that's what brings the score down a little bit. So that's what I mentioned here. I feel good about PTO volunteering, but I have work to do on friendships and neighbors. And so that's something to focus on throughout the year. And the beginning of the year, a lot of my community goals are going to be focused on PTO because I need to finish out this year of service with PTO, and then once the school year is over, halfway through the year, I can shift my focus to thinking about like friendships and neighbors and things. And luckily, people that I'm making relationships with on PTO are also in my neighborhood and people that I want to be friends with. So it kind of works out. So for family, I wrote, the bond I have with my husband and my son is amazing, but progress can be made with my extended family. And that is just something I've always known, but it's just kind of something it's complicated, and I'm just going to leave it at that, but I can make some strides there. Finances, I have 5 here. I made huge steps in 2024 with lots more room for learning and improvement. And we'll get to all the specific little goals as we get to that page. Health and wellness, I scored a 5, and I said, I know how to heal my body and improve my health, and 2025 is all about fitness and movement. So kind of 2024, I just took this year to really figure out exactly the foods that my body doesn't like and how and when to eat, and just all of the things food related. Definitely made huge progress there. And then now I know what causes me to feel certain ways, which, you know, is a trickle down effect into all of the other things with energy and just the ability to get other things done and spend time with people and stuff. That food and how I feel is very important. Now that we figured that out, I feel good about making some progress in fitness and moving my body and maybe making that be more of the focus. Whereas in 2024, it was kind of just like I want to go for walks more. I want to try to do things. But I'm not like gonna be mad at myself if I don't, right? Like I'm not setting these big goals that I'm gonna train for a marathon or anything like that. So that was 2024. Now 2025, we're gonna have some bigger fitness goals. And for home and spaces, I scored a 5, and I said 2025 will be a good year at home. We will form a plan and chip away at projects. We live in a large house. It's just the size of the house that we had to get to live in the neighborhood we wanted to live in so that our kid could go to the school we wanted him to go to. Anyway, it's too big for us and it's hard to take care of, especially with the added bonus of my husband not working in our state where we live. So he's always gone and he's my person that helps me do everything. I can fix things, but also he likes to fix things, and we don't always have the budget to fix the things that need to get fixed, and not even the money budget, but like the time budget. So this year we're going to make it a little more of a priority. Of course, everything always has to do with time and money, and we don't know, but we're making a list of things that need to get done, and we're gonna do a game plan and figure out what can we do, what are some small things we can do when we don't have a huge budget to work with, which is most of the time, and what are some things that I can do on my own where I don't need to wait for him, that kind of thing. That is our plan, and we're gonna kind of make that a focus this year. And spiritual and personal growth, I scored a 4. I said God called me back at the end of 2024. This year I will improve myself through getting reacquainted with Jesus. So this has been, like I said, I will probably do a video specifically about like my faith journey and where I was before, what I did right before this, and what I'm doing now, and all of that stuff. I know people are curious, and I feel like my story can maybe inspire someone else, and I will talk about that, just not in this video. So we'll get there. Okay, so work and learning is an 8. And I did want to add, so spiritual and personal growth. This is obviously, religion is kind of my focus, but this is also going to be where I focus on just like personal development things. Like I like to read self-improvement books and see how they apply to me and stuff like that. And so those kinds of goals will be in here as well. And then work and learning, I scored an 8, which is crazy to me that I feel like the work is the thing that causes me the most stress, I guess. Even though I work for myself and I can do what I want, I am the problem, it's me. So even though work gets crazy at year end, it generally went well, and I can improve by staying focused and consistent. That's my biggest problem, is staying focused and being consistent. I mean, I think I'm okay at consistency. It's just whenever the thing that caused me to be inconsistent is that I say yes to too many things, and I get excited about too many things, and I want to do too many things, and then I don't have time to catch up when inevitably something else either comes up that needs to happen quicker, or like things like in mid-year when we have storm season here and we lose power constantly and I can't edit and all of that stuff, then it's hard for me to catch up. So you know, that's my fault. That's me learning to stop doing too many things. If you've watched any of my goal setting videos from the past year, I've probably said that in every single one, and no, I have not learned my lesson yet, but you know, we'll get there. Okay, and then for my free choice category, this is the purple category. I am doing hobbies as self-care. We kind of touched on this maybe halfway throughout the year because this category shifted for me all throughout 2024, and it was kind of like, it started off with like personal care, like I need to get dressed, I need to do my hair, I wanted to learn how to do my hair, I wanted to like do my nails more, and just all the girly, like take care of yourself things you think about. And then it shifted into habits and routines, because I thought, well, if I set these things up as habits and routines, then they would stick more, which again, it's just not, I don't know. Habits and routines. Again, that's another thing, like me doing too much. That is something that I will always need to be working to improve. But then I kind of realized that the self-care things I like personally are like hobby type things. So my hobby is not to do my makeup, and my hobby is not to do my nails and play with my hair. I know a lot of people have that. That's like a thing that they like. You can see it on social media and on YouTube. People love to do their makeup. That's, to me, that's like a creative hobby. That's not my creative hobby though. And so it just wasn't doing it for me. It was more of like, it was negative energy. It was drawing negative feelings, and it was like causing stress. So it wasn't actually self-care for me. And so I realized things like doing things I love to do that are just for me, that are not productive in any way, that are just creative, fun hobbies for me. Playing Minecraft, sewing, doing like cross-stitch projects, those kinds of things. Doing puzzles, love doing jigsaw puzzles, they're my favorite. That kind of stuff. And then also watching Formula One with my husband, like those things, reading, those things are my hobbies, and I'm going to use those as self-care this year. So it's important for me to schedule that time, which I'm pretty good about for some of the things, like Formula One and Minecraft nights. Those are things that I'm decent with. Listening to audiobooks is one of them as well that I will always be able to do. But then there's other ones that, like sewing and quilting and doing my cross-stitch projects. Those are things that take real commitment to that time. Knitting, I learned to knit maybe at the end of 2023, perhaps. I don't even remember. I haven't picked it up since. I've knitted like a hat. I knitted a pair of socks. It was so much fun. I loved it. I loved having something functional that I can use to come out of the thing I made with my own hands. And then I never did it again. And I'm kind of sad about that. I want to keep doing that. And so those are the things that I want to focus on doing instead of worrying so much about how to curl my hair right. So, and I'm not admonishing or diminishing that as a hobby. Me saying that doesn't mean that I don't respect that. I think that's important to the people that draw joy from that. I don't think I'm one of those people, and that's all. Okay, so let's move on to the mindset pages, and this is like the negative mindsets that you're gonna flip and turn into a positive mindset. And like one of them, I said, I cannot track and stick with my habits and routines, and I will always struggle in this area. So that's my negative mindset. And then I flipped that into a positive mindset that just says, I have my whole life to learn and grow in this area, and I love learning, so it works out. Okay, and then here we have the name what matters. This is the like what will have mattered when I'm dying, what won't have mattered when I'm dying. I feel like this is probably the same as it was last year. I didn't compare, but it doesn't seem like it has changed. It will have mattered that I was present, that I taught my son what he needs to know, that I honored my husband in our marriage, and that I was a good person who did good work. And then it won't have mattered how tidy and perfectly clean the individual parts of my house were, how nice my car was, how fashionable I was, how many followers I had, how many books I read, and how many quilts I made. That kind of thing. Like that won't have mattered. Okay, and then the next page is the what I'm saying yes to and what I'm saying no to. I really like this kind of like mindset shift, because everything you do is a decision, and then every yes is a no. Like every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And like I said, I say yes to way too many things. Too many things that that don't necessarily add up to the things that will have mattered. So I want to do more of the yes things and less of the no things. So the yes column says reading in bed, dwelling on scripture, simple meals, moving my body, prioritizing sleep, serving others with my gifts, prayer, going outside, and movie nights. And then what I'm saying no to. So I want to do less of this. Mindless scrolling on my phone, working at every white space opportunity, housekeeping perfection, over planning, and extra stuff and clutter. Okay. And then this is like the fun Mad Libs page. I'm not going to read this out, but you can pause it and kind of zoom in if you want to read that. It's just a fun little way to kind of put it all together. All right, and then we have more. So this is another page where we talked about before where you could like brainstorm your year ahead. There's another page for that here, so you can even take those ideas and figure out which areas of life they fall into. And then you have time here to actually write out and choose what your goals are. So this is, I kind of took that list that I showed you, put them all in here. And then this is just some information on how to make a goal. I talked about this book, and I just want to show you here, like we have this information in this book, so that's actually in your PowerSheets. So again, this is not something you need to have when you do your PowerSheets prep work, because you do have like the basic information here. And then here we have just ideas for goals. So for example, this one is a steward my finances well, and here's your ideas for your goals, where they kind of break it down this way and kind of show you each quarter what you can do. This is just kind of like a list of ideas that you could put into each quarter. So that's how that kind of ties in with that. And then we go into the actual goal page, and I put a magnetic bookmark here. This is one of the mini ones, and I just kind of have it sticking off the top, kind of acting as like a little tab there so I can go back to it. And here are my 2025 goals. My family goal is just to maintain our strong family bond. That's the same goal that I had for 2024. I like the goal. There's no reason to change it. And that's my main easy goal. I know that we will be able to do that. We will come out stronger again at the end of 2025. And that's just kind of like my easy win. My work goal is just to carry on and thrive. I want to stay consistent and I want to grow. And yeah, so carry on is just keep doing what I'm doing that works, and I will thrive. I tend to overthink and think, oh, well, if this worked, then how can I 10 times that and make it better so that it'll work better and faster? I'm not going to do that. I want to just stay consistent with what I know works, and I don't need to reinvent the wheel, and we'll get there. And we'll have fun doing it and won't get stressed out and burnt out. So for community, I just have finish the 2024 and 2025 PTO year. And so that's going to end in June. At the last day of school, well, probably a little after, while we kind of transition to the next year's PTO board. My son won't be at that school anymore, so I'm not going to stay on the PTO board, and so I will need to kind of transition my role to the next person. But for the most part, all of the busy things are going to be at the beginning of the year. And then I don't really have a year-end goal for that. I do want to nurture some relationships, but the main goal will finish mid-year. My personal development and spirituality goal is to cultivate my faith and know God. I want to do that through Bible study, prayer, and worship. And then health is to improve my fitness and get strong. So I want to do a 5K. I want to run the whole thing without stopping, like without walking. I'm not trying to win the race. I just want to be able to run for a full 5K without stopping. I want to be able to do a pull-up. This is something I've always wanted to be able to do. I feel like you should be able to pull your body weight up. Like if you're hanging off the side of a cliff in an action movie, I want to be able to use my strength to pull my body up. Of course, in that situation, hopefully I would have the help of adrenaline, but you know what I mean. Okay, and then just my nutrition. Just continue on with the things I've learned about my nutrition this year. I want to embrace our home with gratitude and contentment. We're incredibly fortunate to have the home we have. We tend to get negative about our home because something's always broken and it's expensive and it's just so much. And when we bought this house, we had such big dreams for what we were going to do with it. And then life circumstances changed and we didn't do those things. And now we're kind of looking at it like we've had this house for, oh gosh, 11 years now, and we haven't done all of the things or most of the things we wanted to do. And so it's easy to feel like woe is me and feel sorry for ourselves about it. The fact of the matter is we have a beautiful home in an amazing neighborhood that is safe and just a great neighborhood with great neighbors and a great school district, and we're going to embrace that. We're going to embrace it with gratitude. We're going to be content with what we have. We can fix what we have and steward our resources well to make that happen, and that's it. That's what we're going to do. And then for finances, we're going to steward our resources well and save for the future. So just more of the same with what I was doing last year. I do have some added like mini goals of like opening an investment account and stuff like that, which honestly I'm a little embarrassed to say because I am 41 years old and I don't have an investment account, and I feel like I'm supposed to. Like grown-ups have these things and I'm supposed to be a grown-up and I don't. I don't know, maybe you feel the same way. I just want to say that out loud because if you're a grown-up like me, even if you don't feel like one and you don't have all of the fancy, investment accounts and all the stuff that you're supposed to have when you're a responsible grown-up, I don't know, not all of us do. I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything like that. I'm just saying not all of us do. So we'll make it a goal for this year to get one started. And then my free space, free choice area is to practice self-care through hobbies and reduced screen time. So I did say that I wanted to intentionally make time for those things that I want to do, the hobbies that bring me joy and re-energize me. I have noticed that I will just sit there and look at my phone for a long time. And that could have been 20 minutes of scrolling my phone. I could have been working on a project that actually brings me joy instead of makes me feel bad about myself the way social media tends to do. And that's really hard because half my job is social media. Screen time for myself is just really scrolling on my phone because one of my hobbies is watching Formula One and video gaming. So obviously those screens don't count. But really what I mean is the scrolling, the endless scrolling of videos and reels. It's just, I've got to stop doing that and do things that bring me joy and lift me up and fill me up and re-energize me. So that is my goals page. And then this is where we kind of get into breaking down all of those goals. And I did one, we have room for 8 and there's 8 goals on this list. The way I did it was I broke down each like main overarching goal. So each one of these colors got its own page, and then I'm using this notepad here to break down the mini goals. So, and I'll show you how I did that in a second. So there's some of the stickers I used, and I just kind of broke it down, right? So what I love about these pages is that it does give you a spot to say like, what does success look like? And that's something I never really looked at in my 2024 goals. So I want to kind of pay attention to this year. And then this is what will get in the way of making progress on that goal. That's also really important. And this is the breakdown of what I can do each season. This is like the hardest part for me, is divvying it up because I want to do everything now. And I always feel like everything needs to always be happening all the time. And so I fill this up and then it's just like all year long, it's just, we've got things going on in everything. And so I think something else I want to remember throughout the year as I'm making my tending lists and doing my refreshes is that maybe something, just because I wrote it here, maybe I don't need to do it. I don't know. I have to reevaluate based on all of the other things. So anyway, this is the notepad page. And this I punched with, it's called a punch board, a planner punch board from We Are Memory Keepers. It comes with a bunch of different punches, and so this one is the one that fits this binding. And I just punched it. What I did was I I added washi tape first to the edge so that I could kind of make it stronger. And I just took this and I'm putting it here for now, but then as I'm working on this, I can take this and put it in the month that I'm working on it. So yeah, another option for that, if you don't want to grab that punch, we have the snap-in paper packs from Cultivate, and I wanted to use these for like in a similar way, whereas this is a specific, like break down this one specific mini goal, and that's to go on this cruise. But I think maybe some other types of goals might work better with this. Like I have the what to read next here that I haven't punched yet, but that could be what I use here. This was just an old wild card. I'm trying to use up these like bigger wild cards that don't fit in my album. And that could be something I would use this for. And then it already comes punched and it's like reinforced already. And it has a cute tab at the top. So that's what that is. And then I just have it all broken out per quarter. And then what's cool is this is like a new thing, and it's the what's next. All good things start with one small step. And it's a spot where you can write the very first step that you want to take to get something on this goal sheet done. And so that's pretty cool. So I went through and I decorated, just lightly decorated each of the goal category pages with the color that corresponds to them. And I just put some notes and things, like here's the PTO one where I said it was going to be like the first half of the year. And then maybe I can come back and add some things here for community as well. I know that there's like events. I used to actually run the events for our neighborhood back in the day. I used to put on all the events, so I know that there's plenty of opportunity to volunteer to help with those events, and maybe towards the end of the year that might be something I have the energy to do, so we will revisit that when it comes up. This is the spiritual and personal development. And like I said, I wanted to read some self-improvement books, so I just took this one that says what to read next. I didn't decorate this one as much as I did those other ones that I'm going to be putting in my other planner. I think I will, I just haven't gotten to that yet. And I haven't punched this yet because I'm not sure if this is going to go in my other planner. I will be using a disc planner in 2025, so I do have the Happy Planner punch here that I could punch it with, or I could use the punch board if I wanted to keep it in here. I haven't decided yet, so I just didn't punch it. And this is basically, I wanted to have a dedicated spot to write down all those book recommendations we get all the time. I tend to have like just random notes in my phone. So whenever I go and clear that out, I will go and look at those, like the notes where somebody has recommended a book, and then I just add it to my Goodreads and then I forget about it. So I think I want to actually write it down in a list, and then I can check them off or whatever. And like whenever we're in a Goal Scope Premium call, it's like there's always a book recommendation, and then there's always great book recommendations on podcasts. Anyway, I wanted to have a spot to put that, and so that's why it's clipped in here for right now, because I'm going to use it for like personal development, spiritual growth, self-improvement books, not just like the fiction books I want to read, because those can go in my Goodreads. Those are fine. And typically what I do with those is I will, if it's a book that I'm like, wow, that sounds really good, I will immediately look for it at my library and put a hold on it. And then once that comes available for me to read, then it's like that made the choice for me. If my library doesn't have it, then I will add it to my Goodreads, or I look on my Kindle Unlimited to see if I can get it on there and then add it to my library that way. And then I see it on when I turn on my Kindle, I see it like on my screen. So, but this I want to use for those like self-improvement, like nonfiction type books. And then the next one, oh, well, hold on, not the next one. This is the next one. This one is my health goals. I want to improve my fitness and get strong. I want to run a 5K, and I want to do a pull-up. So the way I broke that down is that I need to meet with a trainer and tell them that my goal is to be able to do a pull-up. Ideally, I'll be able to do more than one pull-up, but my standard of success is just to be able to do one pull-up. So hopefully by the end, I'll have the whole year to train for that, and that would be like an easy win. I don't know. And then also, I do want to be able to run the 5K, not like without stopping. And I am using I know I can use Couch to 5K, but right now I'm using the Zombies Run app because I love reading zombie apocalypse books and I love watching shows like The Walking Dead. And so I just think it's a fun way to incorporate that. It's like, and I even have that written here, how will I have fun with this goal, is using the Zombies Run app. Just because it's fun, it immerses you in the story and you're running from zombies. So of course you're gonna run, right? Anyway, so I have that here. Then I need to schedule the appointment with the trainer. And I actually, whenever I wrote that down, I was like, wait a minute, they're gonna be so busy with appointments like that in January that maybe I should try to sneak it in before January, because a lot of people start gym memberships in January. And so I already have a gym membership and I've been going for a while. I've just never done that like complimentary trainer consultation before. So I'm gonna try to schedule that for the next couple of weeks. So technically it's cheating, it's 2024, but it's to prepare for a 2025 goal. So, okay, and then the next one is my home list. So this is one that's gonna have a lot of steps and things. And so this one, we will be making a list of every room. In every room, we're going room by room in this house, and we are going to make a list of everything that is damaged, that needs repairing, anything that needs updating, anything that we just want to do to make it nicer. Furniture we might still need, literally like just every possible thing. And then we're gonna prioritize. Obviously the repairs and stuff will be probably top of the list. And then we're gonna tape those priority things from each room and just try to figure out where does that fit into our time and money budget and our schedule, and is that something, what can we do, what needs to happen first, and when can we do it? So that's, I have one here for that. I haven't written anything on it yet. It's just kind of prepped and ready to go. The other part of our home thing is that I want to declutter the whole entire house. So maybe this is probably too ambitious. I don't know. We'll see. So I've done it before where we've kind of like gotten rid of like everything. And then over the years stuff creeps back in, and I think I want to do that again. Just obviously not just getting rid of things for the sake of getting rid of it. It's just stuff that, am I really using this? Can somebody else use this better than me? Who can I donate this to or gift this to or whatever? And just kind of, I want to do that room by room, and that's kind of what this list is here. It was just like a quick list I scribbled out, and I kind of went through each area of our home. Like I said, we have a large home, and I broke it out into like sections that I thought would be manageable sections. And I have 11 here because I know we're not going to be doing anything like that in December. So I didn't want to do one for every month. I just wanted to have like, because December is crazy. December is Christmas and school stuff. Really, I should only have 10 because of work. That's something I need to figure out too, because November is also crazy. And then October, my husband is busy at work. So see, these are the problems we have. So that's just kind of something I have to reevaluate. Like, what is easier for us to do in those months when we're busy with other things. So this is another wild card. It's an organization and decluttering list. And so I just need to go and figure out what area we're going to work on, and then figure out what month those work in. And this is another one that I haven't punched yet because I think this one needs to go in my regular planner, my like everyday planner. And yeah, so that's that. And I mean, I don't know, you can't really see here what I wrote because I've covered it up, but I don't really know yet the projects. So ideally I would figure we would do that whole list, and then I can go disperse each project and area of the house into these, but I just don't have that information yet. So that's why that's there. And then here we have the financial one, and I already did kind of break out this goal, which is to open an investment account. I need to find some books. I need to read at least one of those books and take notes on it. I can listen to some podcasts, research the options at my bank, and then if that leads to me needing to find a different institution, then I will do that. Open an account, make a deposit, and then decide on my monthly contribution to that, and then that would be me finishing that goal. And then we just have some other things here, like We want to go on a cruise. We've been saving for it. We need to book the cruise probably in January. I'm pretty sure the balance for the cruise will be in June, just based on the sailing date, obviously taxes. I have pantry challenges on here because I want to. I store a lot of food, so we will purchase things. I tend to not, like I'm not, like I don't do like the prepping thing where you buy tons and tons and tons of stuff and have like a whole room of stuff. I listen to tons of zombie apocalypse books, so I'm always tempted, but we don't actually practice that yet. Question mark? I don't know. But I do freeze a lot of food. My husband is not here often, and so I'm cooking dinner for me and my son. And so whenever I make a recipe, there's always a ton left over, and so I tend to freeze in portions. And so some parts of the year, I have so much stuff in my freezer that it's like, we need to eat this instead of buying more groceries. And so that's kind of I want to do that once a quarter, I think. And so my idea is that if we do that once a quarter, we're either saving that money that I don't have to spend on a huge grocery bill for a week or so, and then I can put that into something else, like maybe one of those home projects. Or I can take what I normally spend and allocate for a week of groceries and put that into savings or that investment account. So that's just kind of, we're just going to figure out what needs to happen when that happens. So that's why that's on there. And the last one is my practicing self-care through hobbies and reduced screen time. And then my make it happen goal breakdown notepad paper here is that I need to decide what craft I'm going to be working on in Q1. So I've decided that I want to, my standard of success for this goal is that I want to finish a craft project, just one singular project, whether it be finishing a quilt I've already been working on forever, or finishing a cross stitch, or something that's like a craft project. I will finish at least one of them. I want to read 12 books, and these are fiction books. So I have, normally my reading goal I set to like 24 books, and I tend to blow right past that, but I don't ever increase the goal because I don't really care how many I read, but it is nice to kind of have something to shoot for. So I am changing that to reading 12 fiction books this year because I do want to make time for those self-improvement books. And so finishing a craft project, read 12 books, and then I want to create a Minecraft world for my family to play in. I can talk about that another time because I could go on and on about Minecraft. That's Formula One and Minecraft. Those are things that just don't overlap a lot with the type of content you see on a planner channel, so I tend to not bring, I mean, you know that I like them, and I know I've had people comment saying like, hey, I like that too, but it's few and far between, so I try to not ramble on too much about it. But anyway, it's just something fun I want to do for us to always have a place to go play. And let's see. So then here I kind of broke out what I can do each quarter. One of the things I wanted to do was with the Formula One stuff. So Formula One is all over the world, and it's almost the full year. Like it's like nine or 10 months out of the year, and it's every weekend, every other weekend. They're in a different location of the world. And I thought it would be super cool to have like a themed set of food for probably just the ones where my husband's in town, and maybe dinner or lunch or something. I know some of the races are really early, so that's going to be kind of like hard to coordinate, but I guess it's just the idea is there that, like, you know, Mexican Grand Prix, we'll think of some like authentic Mexican dishes to serve, and or, you know, like the Italian Grand Prix and some of the Middle Eastern ones like Saudi Arabia. I don't think I've ever cooked food for cuisine from that part of the world. So, you know, fun things like that. I like to cook. My family likes to eat. We love Formula One. I just thought it would be a fun way to kind of bring that hobby to my family. And then seasonal puzzles. I wanted to do a screen time challenge. I have a little booklet that I got from the Daily Grace Co. And it's just like, I think it's like 30 days. It's called Redeeming Your Screen Time. And it's just like a little challenge to help you figure out how you're using your technology well, and like how it's impacting your life in positive and negative ways, and how you can like change that to incorporate the things that you really want to use your time for. So that's something I'll do probably in January. But then we have the Pace Yourself for Success, and this is where then you can go and take all of these things and break them out into the months. And most of them I didn't put, these were only the things that were not like every single month. So I just kind of wrote the things that were kind of like one-off things, or like once a quarter things, and figured out which month I would be doing those in. And then here we have the word of the year, and I forgot to bring the notebook up with me. I will insert like an image on the screen here where I kind of was like journaling about my word of the year and how I chose it. But really my word of the year is dwell, and I want to grow in my faith by studying scripture. I want to care for my home, and I want to rest through hobbies and boundaries. And all of those, the word dwell points to those for me, and even more, which you'll see in that image. It's really the word of the year for me, and it's just something I didn't do in 2024, is I want it to be something that when I'm making decisions about what I'm using my time for, and maybe which action to take, I want to think of that word, and then does that word point me towards the right direction? You know, so I didn't really necessarily want the word to just represent my goals. I wanted it to represent the action I can take, or to help remind me of what action I could take. And so for dwelling, I have a lot of like, you know, synonyms for the word and definitions for the word, and like how the word is used in our language. And that's kind of how I figured out, like, dwelling can mean lingering and being still, and it can mean contemplating, and then it can mean living somewhere. So a lot of these ways I'm able to kind of shape how that word can help me make decisions about how I'm using my time. So that is why I chose dwell for 2025. So then the next thing here, I didn't do the visualize what's ahead yet. I'm not really sure how I want to use these yet. This is kind of like a vision board, but I do like to do that on my actual like bulletin board in my office. So we'll see how I end up using that. I may make like my tending list cheat sheet here like I did. I will link up here the video where I talk about that. And then this is just kind of like how to make a tending list, and then we have the perfection, and then there's like another dot grid page here that I can use for notes. And then this is imperfect progress, and I just realized I spelled progress instead of progress. So I will fix that. So imperfect progress, not progress. But this is just kind of me reflecting on imperfections and things that I know worked for me in 2024. Making smaller action steps has been super helpful, and that I need to break it down into itty bitty, teeny tiny, minute steps ahead of time. And then once I check the thing off, the small thing, that momentum usually kicks in and I can keep going. And then also, rarely does something daunting take as long as I think it will, or be as complicated as I make it out to be. And that's just something I want to remind myself. Okay, and then the thing that I'm not getting to in this video is to do my quarterly refresh, which I don't know. We'll see if I do that in my tending list video or not. I don't know, but just go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss that. And that is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing, because I post functional planning videos and simple goal setting videos on my channel. And if you liked this one, you'll probably like those ones too. And I'd love to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.